If you're looking for some unique styles to add to your AI art, then I've got 10 for you to try today. Simply add them to the end of your prompt, separated by a comma. And you can try these in any AI art platform. However, these images were made using Midjourney version 8.1. And the first style, for just a bit of fun, is inspired by a tardigrade. Tardigrade being a very tiny, seemingly almost indestructible animal, not entirely, but the way it sort of transforms characters into those proportions. Sometimes it'll just pop a tardigrade next to the character. It just creates like a really interesting sort of version of whatever you throw at it with that character. But on top of that, because they're generally measured under a microscope, you get some cool little effects on top of it. Sometimes you get more of a 3D render style like you do with the Terminator here or with Batman, but I just love the way it's able to combine styles and create something that's kind of creepy but also kind of cute. The woman's face, I think, is mostly just creepy, but I loved the way it sort of had the black eyes and the way it sort of had the skin texture. And Hulk, he's sort of looking at a tardigrade, but his body, the way it's kind of conformed into an almost tardigrade style. And we got the lion's face, which is kind of like half tardigrade, half lion, and has a kind of microscopic look to it. So that can be a lot of fun to try with your characters. But otherwise, we have Candypunk. This is just a phrase I thought would be worth trying, and it definitely did not disappoint. The way it kind of really increases the colors and adds sort of like elements of lollies and candy to your characters. Leans very heavily on pink, and because we're using that punk style phrase, it really fashions up the character in all these sort of candy-like sort of styles. And I love the way Mickey Mouse has got a lot of attitude here with the stickers, the pink, and the spikiness to it. It really does combine punk style with candy, kind of like cyberpunk, the way that it kind of combines these cyber elements with the fashion style. But this one just has a very different sort of feel with the very pink, sweet, sugary sort of style that it adds. And I love the way that Optimus Prime has glasses here and a human face, but still kind of has a little bit of a mouthpiece there. And the fact that the Terminator is bright pink here, I don't know whether he's still terrifying or not. I guess he kind of is, but Darth Vader looks kind of chill. Still got the breathing apparatus, which seems to be something that pops up here and there, but the way it just takes those colors and applies it to something like the waterfall is a really, really unique look. So this is definitely one worth playing with if you want to have some fun with it. But otherwise, we have Pixelart, Oled, Extracontrast, Abstract. Now, I actually saw this on the Explore page and just extracted it from a prompt, and it turned out pretty good. I got some really cool, not just pixelated effects, but the way it adds in the streaks of light, the contrast, and just this phrase, the way it worked, just produced an interesting pixelated style with some more abstract elements. This one of the Terminator, a little less abstract, but it still has that high contrast style to it. You can see the colors seem to be relatively consistent. It really loves that sort of dark, cool, bluish shadow, but with the bright yellow and red highlights. So it does a really great job of taking images and characters and making them a little bit different. I love the way this one of Mickey Mouse has actually got a little bit of a blur to it, like you're viewing it from outside of a television. But you can see the style. It actually is probably a little less consistent with this image, but still the colors are there. So definitely, like I said, it has that color style to it, that pixel style to it, with a bit of an abstract, streaky kind of background. So have a play with that one if you like what you see here. And next is Fingerprint Ink aesthetic. Now, I remember seeing some fingerprints somewhere and thinking, I love that swirly aesthetic that they had. So I thought I would try it in Midjourney, and the results did not disappoint. Very often you'll get like a nice black and white style ink imprint image with a fingerprint type effect mixed into it. And sometimes you'll get a finger, like in this image here of Darth Vader. Sometimes you'll get some color. It's mostly black and white, but you do get some color here and there, kind of like with the samurai here, or I tried it again with Darth Maul, and we got like a bit of a red fingerprint effect there. But you can see how it's a very consistent effect, at least with Midjourney here, and it turned out looking pretty good. So definitely, this is another interesting effect you can apply to images, and could be something really unique if you're a graphic designer, or just something if you want to see a cool art style to experiment with. If you're looking for the ultimate Midjourney resources, then don't forget to check out my Midjourney video course, taking you all the way from beginner through to pro, along with my style resources. This includes my style pack with prompt phrases you can use to improve your images, along with my Midjourney mood board pack. Links to all these resources will be in the description below. Now, back to the video. The next style is chaotic, rough charcoal sketch. So I think most of us have seen Midjourney create images in a drawing style or a charcoal style, but adding that chaotic and roughness to it really adds a sense of energy to, if you were to see someone drawing this image, they were really hooking in at that time. So I really love the way it adds in a lot of lines, a lot of mess. Sometimes it does do just the charcoal, but you do get a lot of this really kind of like energetic, chaotic look. So this one I thought was really good. And like with a lot of these styles, you could probably pull it apart and try something like chaotic pen or pencil sketch or chaotic painting style. A lot of these styles can be pulled apart pretty effectively, but I really liked the charcoal style lends itself well to that more chaotic look, especially this one of Mickey Mouse here. It almost looks like it's kind of blurred, the way it's handled the line work on it, but it's just a really fun style to play with. And if you're a fan of trying to generate traditional looking art in AI, this is definitely one you can experiment with and use that sort of prompt structure to play with other ideas when generating. But next we have in the style of Akiyoshi Kitaoka. I'm not sure if that's exactly how it's pronounced, but you can see a bit of an illusion style here. He really is one of those people who is known for creating illusion pages and artwork, and it definitely translates pretty well into the images I was able to generate here in Midjourney. The use of kind of like swirls, lines, sometimes get dots, but mostly lines. It actually does not only apply them over the top of an image, but sometimes it does create a more unique style of image with that applied. Now, this one of Optimus Prime is a little bit different. Every now and then I like to include some different ones, still if they look good, but the vast majority of the images do have a reasonably predictable effect. This one of Darth Maul here is also still a little bit different, but you can see how it's worked on the swirls, the patterns, and the way it's tried to create that optical illusion look just by actually applying his name to the prompt, including the grids here in the lion's face. This one can be a lot of fun to play with also, so give it a go. But we also have Disco Elysium art style. Now, I'm not a gamer per se, so I actually haven't heard of this game when I saw the art style, but I thought it was definitely worth trying. It's a video game from 2019, and as you can see, we get this really nice traditional art style, but there are, by the way, there's some eyes here in Darth Vader, but there are some nice kind of like proportion changes, costume changes, and you can get a feel for the look that's presented here and the way that it changes the character. Like Mickey Mouse here, I love the outfit he's in. It's a bit different, the worried look, the style adds something a little bit unique. And Goku here, he's got like some goggles on his head and glasses, and you can see this is a very different character style for what you normally get with Goku, even Batman. Again, the goggles, a lot of old-fashioned looking attire being thrown onto the characters, and even just the way the face is drawn here with the line. Very cartoony style, but in a traditional painting sense. But dusty and folded passport photo kind of speaks for itself. I thought about the idea. I've tried mugshot in the past, but passport photo was one I saw. But I saw an old passport photo and I thought that would be a good one to try, and it tended to work out pretty well. It's kind of like you've dug up an old passport from 20 or 30 or even 50 years ago, and it's all corroded, faded, bit sort of beaten up and folded, and a very consistent style when you use this phrase, and it's just another way to kind of get that particular look. Again, if you're doing something with graphic design, this could be a really, really handy style. Also, I love the way it adds eyes on the Darth Vader like it has from the previous styles. It's always a funny look. Now, Optimus Prime was the only one that was different. He's kind of like folded and made up out of paper. So like I said, not 100%, but most of the time you do get that style, and I love this one. It's like an old print of a lion's face, so I definitely had a lot of fun experimenting with that one. But punch needle style textile art, another real world application applied to these art styles, so you can kind of get a feel for how this works by just looking at the art style, looking at the stitching and the way it kind of favors or sort of sticks to a few key colors and stitches the image out of that. But the composition, the layout, the way that it handles the images and the way that it lays them out is very, very standard, but just rendered in that sort of punch needle style. So I love the way that it really, some of the images have sort of like a larger version of the texture, more close up, like one of the Hulk here. Some are sort of almost like they're shot from further away, where you get a smaller result. But I think the larger ones are kind of fun. It has a real world feel to it. It looks like you've actually taken a photo of something that's been stitched. So definitely, I think this one turned out pretty well and is a very, very consistent style to play with. But moving on, we have the 10th style, which is light aberration effect. Now, again, this was a mix of words I played with, and I heard of light aberration where color kind of bleeds off of an image, and you can see how it works here. It wasn't what I envisioned, but the way it adds in the light is always pretty interesting. And it always sort of separates that light, so you get some of the red, the greens, the blues, or you get a light effect here like you do at the Statue of Liberty. But if you're a fan of seeing cool lighting effects, usually with deep shadows and a strong highlight, this is probably the least effective, actually, the waterfall. But in most instances, you get some kind of lighting effect there, and it generally looks pretty cool. And I like the way there's a bright sort of shimmering light showing off Optimus Prime there. I love the way this, you can see the woman's face is kind of separated, almost like a lens flare, but not really a lens flare. And just the glow on Mickey Mouse, we've got different colors of the glow there, so the light's still separating around the edges. So if you really like those kind of light effects, this tends to make photos look a little more authentic, because it kind of makes them look either a little bit more damaged or like there's a bit of a lens effect being applied to the photo, but it generally tends to lean onto more realistic images. Although this one, suit me, it looks a little bit more 3D rendered, but that light effect does tend to drag it more into a sense of realism. And this one of Batman here with the red on the left and the blue on the right, really cool. The glow, just a really, really nice looking style. But mirrored Inception screen cap. This is just an idea I had thinking about the movie Inception, where they have that scene where things are mirrored, and sometimes you get something like this, which is just a face that is mirrored back and forth. And again, this is using Midjourney 8.1, but often you get these really cool dynamic looking shots here, like with Batman, where you get the mirrored look up and down or left and right. This one of Goku looks like he's kind of stuck in kind of a House of Mirrors nightmare sort of thing, but I would say probably a good solid 60 to 70% you get these nice mirrored shots. And usually it's with some form of water. I think that's the way Midjourney kind of leans on it. This one kind of has two images sort of across, but you can still see how they're mirrored in two different ways. This one of Optimus Prime, nice shiny floor, but the way it sort of has that high contrast look, where a lot of really deep blacks, a lot of white sort of dots and outlines seems to be what it leans on a lot to try and get that Inception screen cap style. And I loved this one of the Statue of Liberty. It just sort of rendered upside down, which is a little bit different, but I definitely thought it was worth sharing. And Mickey Mouse here looking a little bit creepy at the same time. I always love a good creepy Mickey Mouse when it comes to AI, but you can see the effect this has, down to the architecture here with the dog. I really thought this was a cool style to play with. But otherwise, that's the video for this week, guys. Hope you found it useful, and if you did, please consider giving the video a like. Otherwise, hope to see you again soon. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.